Introduction. My name is Sophia. I am 34 years old. I live a quiet life. I own a small flower shop in the center of the big city. I wake up early every day. I enjoy the peaceful start to the morning. My favorite time is before the customers arrive. I drink a cup of hot coffee. The coffee is strong and black. I organize all the flowers. I especially like working with the red roses. They smell fresh and beautiful. My life was very calm and orderly for many years. Everything was simple and planned. Then John came into my life. John is my husband. He is a young man. He is 22 years old. John is very handsome. He has dark hair and bright eyes. He is full of energy and movement. He laughs easily. His smile is truly beautiful. When I am with John, I forget my age. His youthful energy makes me feel alive. He brought bright, exciting colors into my world, which felt a little gray before I met him. The difference in our ages is 12 years. This large difference is clear to everyone. When we walk together in the street, people always look at us. They stop talking for a moment. They watch us walk past. Sometimes I can hear the sounds of whispering. The strangers talk about us. I try very hard to ignore their looks and their words. It is difficult to feel happy when you know people are judging you. I understand why they look. I am older, calmer, and more serious. John is loud, quick, and always happy. We look like a woman and her younger brother, not a husband and wife. The world does not like things that are different. They think that our love is strange. This feeling of judgment is always present. It is like a dark cloud above our marriage. I love John very much. Our love is real and deep, but love is not always enough to stop the outside pressure. The judgment from strangers is hard, but the judgment from John's family is much harder. His family is wealthy and traditional. They believe that I am too old for John. They think I am taking their son away. His mother, in particular, does not like me at all. She is the biggest problem in our marriage. The conflict with his family is a heavy weight that we must carry every day. It makes our life together difficult. The love we share must be strong enough to face the cold eyes and mean words of the people closest to John. This conflict is the greatest challenge to our future. 2. The angry mother. Every Sunday, John and I go to his mother's house for lunch. His mother, Mrs. Robinson, lives in a very large house. It is expensive and looks beautiful, but inside it feels cold. I do not like going there because Mrs. Robinson does not like me. She thinks I am stealing her son. She always looks at me with a sour face, judging my clothes or my hair. I try to be polite, but it is difficult when she is so unkind. Mrs. Robinson often makes comments about my age. These comments are not small jokes, they are direct insults. She speaks loudly so everyone can hear. She wants to make me feel small and unwanted. One Sunday, we sat at the long dining table. There was a lot of food: chicken, potatoes, and green vegetables. Mrs. Robinson looked directly at me. "Sophia," she said very loudly, "you look very tired today. Is everything okay?" I knew what she meant. She meant that I was aging quickly. I felt my face turn warm. I tried to smile, but it was hard. Mrs. Robinson continued, "It must be difficult to keep up with a young man like John. Maybe John needs a wife who has more energy, someone younger." This comment cut deep into my heart. I immediately looked across the table at John. I wanted him to protect me. I wanted him to stand up and tell his mother to stop. I needed him to say, "Mother, stop talking. Sophia is my wife, and she is wonderful." I needed him to show me that our marriage was more important than his mother's opinion. But John did nothing. He did not look at me. He kept his eyes fixed on his plate. He picked up his fork and slowly ate his potatoes. His silence was louder than his mother's words. It felt like a heavy weight pressing down on me. I tried to breathe slowly. I looked away from John and focused on the expensive painting on the wall. The cold atmosphere of the house matched the coldness I felt inside my chest. Mrs. Robinson continued talking, but I stopped listening. I only heard John's silence. It was clear that he would not defend me in front of his family. He chose to be quiet and safe rather than support his wife. This lack of support started to create a distance between us. Every Sunday lunch made the distance bigger. I felt like I was fighting alone in this relationship. I loved John, but I needed a partner, not a scared boy who hid behind his dinner plate. I thought about the contrast between John at home, full of energy and love, and John here, silent and scared. It made me sad. If he could not protect me from his mother, how could he protect me from the bigger problems in life? The lunch ended quickly after that. I stood up and thanked Mrs. Robinson politely. As we walked out of the cold, expensive house, I did not hold his hand. I walked a little bit ahead of him. The distance was growing, and I knew this problem was not going away. I needed John to grow up, and I needed him to choose me. 3. A sad evening. It was a Tuesday evening. The working day was finished. John came home from his job. He works at a graphic design office. He was tired, but he had energy for one thing. John sat on our sofa. He picked up the controller and began to play video games. The sound of the game filled the living room. I was busy in the kitchen. I was washing the dirty dishes from dinner. I did not feel like a wife right now. I felt like a mother who cleans up after her son. This feeling was dangerous for our marriage. I was also thinking about the household bills. I worried about money often. I felt the weight of our home on my shoulders. John was 22 years old, but he did not carry this weight. He carried only the weight of the video game controller. I stopped the water. I turned and looked at John. He was completely focused on the bright screen. "John," I started softly, "your mother hurt my feelings again on Sunday." I waited for him to stop playing, but he did not. He sighed loudly. It was a clear sign of annoyance. He did not look away from the screen. "She is just old-fashioned, Sophia," he said quickly. "You need to ignore her. Please do not be dramatic about this." His words were sharp. They hurt me more than the insults from his mother. I wanted him to understand my sadness. I wanted him to protect me, but he only wanted peace and quiet. He wanted to return to his game. I stood still for a long time. I realized something terrible about my husband. John was not acting like a man who defends his wife. He was acting like a scared boy. He was afraid of his mother's power. I walked slowly into the living room and picked up the stack of papers that held the bills. I looked at the electric bill. It was higher this month than last month. I tried one more time. "John, this is serious. She insults me every week. I need you to stand up for me." He paused the game quickly this time. He finally looked at me. His eyes were annoyed. "Why do you always start these problems? Can we just have one quiet evening?" he asked. I did not answer him. I knew the answer. He saw me as the problem, not his mother. I left the bills on the table. I walked away from the sofa and went to the bedroom. The silence between us was heavy and cold. It felt like a deep valley had opened up in our marriage. It was a very sad evening. Sorry and love. The pain from the argument on Tuesday night changed into a quiet sadness. I needed to be alone. I walked out to the balcony. I sat down and looked at the city below our apartment. The lights looked like 1,000 small, cold diamonds. I felt very lonely, watching the busy world that did not know my private troubles. I thought about John's silence during the Sunday insults. I felt I needed a true protector, not just a playful young man. After 5 minutes, the glass door slid open. John came outside. He walked slowly. He knew he had hurt me badly when he dismissed my feelings. He stood behind me and placed his warm hand gently on my shoulder. The physical connection was a small comfort. "I am truly sorry, Sophia," he whispered low in my ear. "I was a great coward. I was afraid of my own mother, and that is stupid. I acted like a terrible husband last night." He moved closer. He gently turned my chair so that I faced him completely. "Please forgive me. I promise I will be better. I love you more than anything in this world." We looked into each other's eyes. The moment felt long and very important. I looked into his young face to find the truth. I saw real regret and deep love. The scared boy who always focused on his food was finally gone. This was the man I needed to see. He touched my hair and then my cheek. He kissed me. It was a long, slow, and intense kiss that washed away all my worries. The kiss made me forget the bills for the flower shop. I forgot the cold looks from Mrs. Robinson. The entire outside world disappeared. There was only the feeling of his lips and the strong warmth of his body. We stood up together from the balcony chairs. We walked inside our apartment, moving quietly toward the bedroom door. We wanted to forget the age difference. We wanted to close the door on all the stress. We held each other very tight through the entire night. In the total darkness of our room, the 12-year age difference did not matter at all. It vanished completely. We were not 34 and 22. We were simply two people who were deeply connected and in love. We were a man and a woman finding comfort and security. We felt safe together. This moment of apology and love gave us peace. We knew the family problems would wait for us until the sun came up, but for tonight, we were one. 5. The bad party. It was Mrs. Robinson's birthday party. It was a very big party with many rich people. John and I arrived late. I wore a new dress, but I felt nervous. This was a family event, but it felt like a business meeting. I looked around the large room. Everyone was talking quietly and drinking expensive wine. Mrs. Robinson came to us immediately. She did not look at my dress. She only looked past me. She had a strange, happy smile. She took John's arm and led him away. I followed them slowly. Mrs. Robinson stopped near a young woman. This woman was very pretty. She looked maybe 20 years old. She was the daughter of one of Mrs. Robinson's rich friends. The young woman smiled at John. Mrs. Robinson spoke loudly so that many people could hear her words. "John, look at this lovely girl," she said. "She likes video games just like you." She pushed the girl gently towards John. "She is perfect for you, my dear." The noise in the room stopped. Many people looked at me. It was a terrible public insult. My face felt very hot. I could feel the blood rushing to my cheeks. Mrs. Robinson was trying to replace me right there in front of the whole family and all the guests. I waited for John. This was the most important moment. I needed him to choose me. I needed him to be a man and defend his wife. I held my breath and watched his face. John looked at the young girl. He looked at his mother. He looked very uncomfortable, like a boy caught doing something bad. He did not look at me. Then John laughed. It was a nervous, strange sound. He tried to be polite. "Yeah, nice to meet you," he said to the young woman. He smiled politely at his mother. This was the final moment. He chose his mother's comfort over my dignity. He chose to act like a scared boy again. I felt a sudden, cold strength inside me. The sadness was gone. Only anger remained. I stood up straight. I was sitting at a small table near the wall, and my chair made a very loud noise on the floor. The sound made everyone jump. I looked at John one last time. His eyes were wide with surprise. I did not speak to him. I did not speak to his mother. I looked at the exit door. "I am leaving," I said clearly. My voice was calm and strong. I turned my back on the party, on the guests, and on John. I walked out the door alone. 6, alone in the shop. I stayed at my flower shop that night. The shop was dark and smelled like roses and wet earth. I slept on the small sofa in the back office. The sofa was very short. My body felt uncomfortable, but my mind felt strong. This physical pain was easier than the pain in my heart. I cried for a long time. I thought about the terrible party. Then I stopped crying. I realized something important. I loved John, but I could not be with a man who let people disrespect me. I decided I needed a partner who was mature. I needed a man who could protect me. For 2 days, John called my phone many times. His name appeared on the screen, but I ignored it. I put the phone far away. I worked hard with my flowers. I cut the stems of the lilies and arranged the colors. The work helped me think clearly. I felt lonely without John. I missed his presence, but I also felt proud of my decision. I was a grown woman, 34 years old. I had my own business. I deserved respect. If John wanted to be my husband, he needed to grow up. He needed to be brave and face his mother. He could not keep acting like a scared boy. The scandal from the party quickly became local gossip. When I went out to buy coffee, I heard people talking softly. They knew I had walked out alone. The neighbors looked at me with curiosity. I did not care about their whispers. I walked with my head high. I chose my dignity over a temporary marriage. I understood that if I went back home now, John would not change. He needed to understand the seriousness of the situation. I would wait here in the shop until he proved he was ready to be a true partner. I would not accept anything less than respect. I closed the shop late on the second night, waiting for a sign that John was finally ready to choose me completely. 7, he comes back. The morning was quiet. I was arranging white lilies. It was the 3rd day since I left the party. I had ignored John's calls for 2 days. I felt calm now. I was strong. I heard the bell ring above the door. I looked up. It was John. He looked very different. His usual energy was gone. His eyes were serious and dark. He looked tired, like he had not slept well. He usually had a big, friendly smile. Today there was no smile. He wore a heavy jacket. I noticed his hands were shaking slightly. He looked like he had fought a difficult fight. He walked slowly toward the counter where I stood. I waited for him to speak. My hands stopped touching the flowers. The silence was long. John finally spoke. His voice was low and clear. "I packed my things," he said. I stared at him. "I packed my things from my mother's house." I asked, "What did you say to her?" He looked directly at me. "I went there this morning. I told her the truth, Sophia. I told her that you are my wife. I told her that she must stop talking bad about you." He leaned closer to the counter. I told her that if she cannot give you respect, she cannot see me. Not ever. I told her that I choose my marriage over her house. I felt a shock go through my body. John was very close to his family. This was a huge step. He was giving up comfort and money. He was risking everything for me. This was the first time I saw him act like a true man. He looked scared, but also determined. She was angry, he continued. She screamed at me. She said I was making a terrible mistake. She said you are too old. But I did not listen. I just took my bags and left. He put a small, worn backpack on the floor beside his feet. My heart was beating fast. It was not beating from fear now. It was beating from relief. He had finally grown up. He had finally made a choice. He chose me. He chose our life together. The small flower shop suddenly felt like the safest place in the world. 8. A new start. John walks around the counter. He stands very close to me now. He holds both of my hands tightly. His grip is firm. His hands are warm and strong. This time, he is not the boy who plays video games. He is a man who made a choice. I was a coward, Sophia, he says clearly. His voice is low but steady. I was afraid of my mother. I was afraid to lose my comfortable life. I was afraid to be a man who stands up for his wife. He looks straight into my eyes. This honesty is huge. It is the best gift he could ever give me. But losing you scared me more than anything else in the world, he continues. When you walked out of the party, I felt truly lost. When you did not answer the phone for 2 days, I knew I had to make a real choice. I choose you, Sophia, always. I try to speak, but the emotion is too strong. No words come out. I just stare at him. I see the truth in his face now. The fear is gone. The boyish uncertainty is gone completely. He pulls my hands up to his chest. I can feel his heart beating fast beneath his shirt. I do not care if you are older than me. I do not care what my family thinks about our marriage. I only care about us, about our future. We are a team now. We are husband and wife. I promise I will protect you from all the judgment from now on. I will be your strong shield. The tears I held back for 3 long days finally start to fall quickly. They are not tears of sadness or anger anymore. They are tears of huge, overwhelming relief. I feel a terrible weight lift from my tired shoulders. It feels like the sun came out after a long, dark storm. He wipes the wet tears from my cheeks with his thumb. His touch is gentle. Then he leans in and kisses me slowly. This kiss is different from all the passionate kisses we shared before. Our kisses before were full of temporary forgetting and quick fire. This kiss is full of security, respect, and deep promise. It tastes like fresh air and a brand new start. When we finally break apart, I smile through the remaining tears. You finally grew up, John, I whisper softly. He nods seriously, a small, tired smile on his face. It took me far too long. I am truly sorry for the pain I caused you, my love. We stand there for a long moment, just holding each other tightly in the quiet flower shop. The red roses smell sweet and calm. The outside world seems far away and unimportant. We both know the path ahead will be very difficult. His mother will be extremely angry. Maybe his family will not speak to us for many months. We might lose some of our old friends. We will certainly have money troubles because he left his family's financial support. But these future problems do not feel heavy or impossible anymore. It will be hard, my love, I tell him softly, resting my head on his shoulder. Yes, he agrees, kissing the top of my head. But we will face every single thing together. As one strong couple. This is the first time in our whole marriage that I truly feel safe and respected. I am 34 years old, and my husband is 22 years old. But today, the age difference means absolutely nothing to me. Today, we are just two adults starting a new life based on mutual respect and unbreakable love. John is not just my young man anymore. He is finally my partner,